Scrapbookers. So I'm making a tribute album for my father-in-law's memorial service this Saturday. It is now Wednesday, and this is video number 2. In the first video, I put together all of the scrapbook, or a lot of the scrapbook layouts that I made about him over the years. And so that whole video is all about putting this book together. Now, there's a lot of gaps in this book, and I want to fill those gaps in with photos and stories and scrapbook pages before Saturday. So, again, did I say it was Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. And so that doesn't give me a lot of time to make a lot of pages, but I just wanted you to kind of see where we're coming from as far as the album goes. So a lot of layouts, but even so, I feel like there's a lot of gaps in the story. And I also went through a lot of where I have my photos stored and picked out photos of him. So hold on just a second. As I was doing this, my husband and my mother-in-law were with me, and she was like, "Oh, that's a lot of photos." So part of what this job is to edit. So I don't know how many photos that is, but say this is 100, I would guess. I would guess 400 photos there. Yeah, I think so. So the first thing I'm going to do is categorize the photos. I'm going to put them into different piles. So let's do that first. And I'm kind of just going to do that according to chronology. Except for a couple of things, like these old photos he and I looked at while his wife was in the hospital. So they both were in the hospital in 2015, but that's what he's looking at here. So I want to probably incorporate this photo with these old photos. So, but I am going to put these old photos over here. So we'll go from oldest to now. So these are nowadays. And some of these are going to be kind of grouped together so you can kind of just go through them. Pardon me, I got a cough. Quickly. So I'm going to do like actually after Alzheimer's, before Alzheimer's. Some of these will be a little bit fuzzy as to which they are. So I think most of these are nowadays, before Alzheimer's. And then this pile is kind of like his retirement years and travel. I have some of those photos. So I'm just trying to go through these quickly. Oh, that's one I've definitely been looking for. I didn't have anything about his job, and he was had the same career for 35 years. But I am going to just put that in old photos, just because there's not a lot of them. So I'm not too worried about having, this stack is going to be pretty small versus, I would guess, this stack of pre-Alzheimer's nowadays is going to be the biggest. That would be my guess anyways. Yep. So I'll probably have to separate out this section a lot more, but we shall see. We shall see, said the blind man. That's what my grandfather used to say. What was neat about my father-in-law is that he was the same age as my grandparents. Just worked out that way. These photos are recent photos, but they're of his parents' gravestones. I brought my kids when they were little to go see where his parents were buried. So I'm actually going to put these in with the old photos just because it goes to his family history. So I'm going to put those over there. Yep. Okay. And as I mentioned in my last video, I now have a kitten. She looks more like a cat because she's growing really fast. So I don't want to get these two out of order. That's why I'm going to put them upside down there. Yeah, that's definitely going to be the biggest pile here. And which makes sense because it's really like when I knew him. So, you know, and these are my photos, so that makes a lot of sense, right? Okay, here's one. Here's some photos of my son, or my husband, looking like my son. They're gonna go in the old pile. So I'm just trying to sort through these quickly. Now, am I going to use all of these pictures in the album? Well, if I did, there's like some kind of a war thing. That's going to go in with the old photos. If I did, I think I would bore everyone. So probably not. But am I going to want to use all of them? Oh, you know me. Yes, of course. I'm not a big fan of editing. But yeah, some editing is necessary here. There's no way we can include everything. I mean, I guess we could, but I'm probably not going to. These are actually like photocopies of photos. Don't ask me why. But they look fine, so I'm going to use them. I actually really prefer to work with copies of photos rather than the originals, just so that I don't have to be worried about if I'm messing them up. Now these are letters that I had everybody in the family write to him a way long time ago when, I don't know, I guess it was for his birthday one year. I had everyone write memories of him. So I'm going to pull those out and then probably put them with each person. I think that's what I'll do. Wow, that pile is really huge, isn't it? Okay. Then this was this most recent Thanksgiving. These look a little bit more recent. Christmases. These are kind of like the Alzheimer's years. Yep. Put those over here. Just got some shots that I took in Georgia, but he spent a lot of time there. I'm going to put those in his retirement years photos. This over here. We're getting there. Okay. That's a little more recent. More recent, some more old ones. So see, they were all kind of mixed in here. Because when the way that I store them is kind of in order, but as I was going through and picking them out, and then the family was going through them, they did get a little out of order. All right. I've made my 4 piles. So 4 phases of life, which are the olden days, the retirement years, and see, both of these are relatively not many photos. Then we have the before Alzheimer's years when I was around. So, which was like, 20 years or, a good 15 years anyways. And all of my, my kids growing up. And then the Alzheimer's years. So then we've got these little messages, and I've got to go get a little notebook that I'm going to show you that was his reader's file, where he's got a lot of stories already written. So that's going to help. I'll be right back. Okay, when I went looking, this is what I found. It's like this old-timey tin or metal box. And I like it. I think it's kind of cool. I think I will just organize them like this. I don't know if it's going to fit them all. Well, there's the glory years, and then the Alzheimer's years, and then why don't we just put this in the middle, and then I will do the retirement years over here and the olden days over here. Is this the best way to organize them? No. But they're not going to live here for very long, so it's fine. And that way I can just easily put this to the side and then grab it when I need it. Okay, so let's start. Let's make a layout. So one of the first things that I noticed was missing in the album was I didn't have anything about his Florida Power days. So the first place I'm going to look is in this book for a story about when he worked for Florida Power. And then during that sort, we saw there was one photo of him working at Florida Power. So I want to select that one, if I can find it. And there's not that many. Here it is. So there he is sitting at his desk. Ta-da! Okay. Great. And I think that was the only photo here. I know that there are other photos, I think especially next door at my mother-in-law's house, but that's the only one I have here and printed. So it's the one I'm going to use. Let's just go through quick and see if we can find a story. So I know not everybody's going to have this, but it's worth it to mention to your people, like, hey, might be nice to write a story about. Okay, this has a word that I really don't like at the title, so I am going to crop that out. I don't know why it has that word, but it does. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I'm not even going to say it. It's why I am so blank. And I'm going to leave off that. But it talks about his work. So I'm going to use this because it talks about his job at Florida Power. It also talks about like his first job and that sort of thing. So let's just pull this page. Great. I wish I had a paper clip because I would just put the paper clip right there. I probably do have a paper clip. It's been a long time since I've been scrapbooking, so I don't really, I like, when you're in the groove of scrapbooking, you really can have all of your, embellishments and you know right where they are, and I'm not there right now. Okay. So the cat is sitting right here. I guess you can see her, huh? So I'm hoping she doesn't knock over my tripod. I have a tripod that holds up my iPad, which is what I use to film these videos, which is probably not the best way to do it, but it's how I am doing it. So there you go. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking through this book. The other thing you might want to do, like if you don't have somebody who's written all these cute little stories for you, is write your own cute little stories, keep them in a notebook, and then when you want a scrapbook, you'll have just all of these stories that are already printed up and ready to be cut up for journaling. That would help you to scrapbook a little faster. I need to get my my groove down as far as scrapbooking with a cat in the room. This is new to me. Yes, it is. There's really a lot of amazing stories here. So again, I'm not, not all of them are going to make the cut, especially because we don't have a ton of time, but we'll see, we'll see. Yeah, he really wrote a lot. There is one family situation that he wrote about that the family is still alive and kicking, and he writes about it in a funny way, but maybe not everybody would take it so funny. So if I was super organized, I could go ahead and organize these stories. I'm just not going to do that. Not a big deal. But just going through these is kind of reminding me what's in here. And I'm already thinking like, oh, this photo could go with this thing, and this photo could go with that thing. Stop it. So one thing that you could do is go through the photos and then paper clip them to the little stories. So here's your takeaways. Write your own stories, and then I have pictures of a toilet, and here's a little thing about if you have a toilet leak. Yeah, that's definitely going together. But yeah, I guess I should get some paper clips and match up the stories with these different things. There's an idea. Okay, I'll be back. Hey scrapbookers, I'm back. It's been a little while, and I organized all of the photos. I spread them all out on my desk into little, distinct categories. So like there's a category of just grandfather with my son, with my daughter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, the backyard. So different categories so I could find things faster. So I took the pages out of that book I was showing you, and I paired them up with photos, and I couldn't find paper clips. Imagine that. So I've just put them, all the photos and the papers together. So like each one, goes this way, and then, well, the next one should go this way, and so forth. So there's my stack of scrapbooking to-dos. And so what I'm going to do is just take, this is a plastic drawer that's like an iris cart sort of thing. So I'm just going to put all of them in here and just work from the top. Let's do that. Okay, and that's just right. I'm working on the top of an Expedit, and the drawers are underneath. I'm just going to change the camera angle. I'll be right back. Kitty, kitty.